Welcome to Stormwater Drainage Solutions. So we've been running some flow tests using PVC pipe. Now this is schedule 20 PVC pipe. We went ahead and we cut the top off of this. And I want to take this opportunity to show you and give you an example of why it is very important to run your bell ends in the direction that the water is coming from. So if the water is coming this way, you want your bell end facing that way. The reason for this is because when you slide your spigot end, the spigot end is the opposite end of the pipe that does not have the bell. As you can see, this is the bell end here for this 4-inch Schedule 20 PVC pipe. This is the bell end for this 3-inch Schedule 20 PVC pipe. So when we slide our spigot end into the bell end of this 4-inch PVC pipe, it's going to stop right there where that taper is, and as you can see, there is a lip that is created in there. If you have your water flowing this way, the water is going to be hitting that lip instead of falling off the lip. You want that water to fall off of it, not hit it. Let's go ahead and let's run some water through here so you can kind of see what's happening in action. All right, so we have our garden hose turned on. We don't have it on full blast. There's no need to have it on full blast. Having it on a low flow is plenty. As you can see, that water is falling off of the step of the spigot end that's inserted into the bell end, just as the manufacturer's intended. This is the way that you want to lay drainage pipe that has a bell and a spigot end. You always want that bell end facing the direction that the water is coming from. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to flip this setup around, and we're going to run the water from the opposite direction so that it runs into that step. So we can just kind of see the difference. All right, so we flipped it around. We have the water turned on. It's making its way down the pipe right now in a low flow application. And as you can see, that water is now hitting that step instead of falling off of it. Now, keep in mind, if you're a DIYer, and you installed your system with the bell ends facing the opposite direction, I wouldn't lose sleep over it. It's really, it's not gonna make or break the system. I'll go ahead and get an angle looking down the pipe. That way you can really see how that water hits the step. Now, like I already stated, it's not gonna make or break your system if you've already done this and the system is buried up completely. I wouldn't lose sleep over it, but still, if you're a professional, if you're a drainage installer, and if you're installing your systems for clients, I would always make sure that the bell ends face the correct direction. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add sediment into the pipe, into the system, so we can see what happens when that sediment starts to hit that lip that's been created in there because the bell and the spigot ends are facing the wrong direction. All right, let's turn the hose on. So we got the hose turned on here. As you can see, the water's gonna start building up because there is a blockage of sediment here and sand, but I have a feeling it won't take too long until the water finds its way around and starts pulling sediment and sand with it. So we're gonna get a close-up on that lip here so we can see what happens. Now you can see it's a smooth interior pipe, so stuff is gonna move through here without issues, obviously, even with that little lip. But you can see right there on that lip where sand and sediment is starting to get hung up and caught up. And over time, this could create an area in the pipe where sand and sediment will collect. Now granted, other things could get hung up on that lip as well. Leaves, debris, organic material, stuff like that. So it is ideal to always try to keep those bell ends facing the proper direction. All right, so I went ahead and I shut the hose off. So we just have the last remaining water that's traveling through the pipe, making its way around that last little clump of sediment that's in the pipe upstream. And as you can see, the sediment that's built up on that rib right there, and it's also slowing down the flow to be able to continue to move the sediment that did make it past that lip. So like I said, yard drainage, not too big of a deal, but you still want to make sure that the bell ends are facing the right way. Sanitary systems where you're moving sewage, solids, toilet paper, things like that, you definitely want the bell ends facing the proper way. You do not want a snag point like this to snag toilet paper or anything else that may be in that sanitary system. All right, guys, well, that just about does it for this video. I just wanted to go ahead and show you that example so you can have a visual on how the bell end and the spigot end connect together and forms that little lip. That way you can see why we always preach to try to put the bell ends facing the correct direction. Now, if you're interested in this 24-inch grate, we actually swapped this one out with our 12x12 round that was here. We did something pretty cool down in here. We're gonna have that video coming out soon. We also have videos showing the flow testing that we've been doing between PVC and corrugated pipes. You're not gonna wanna miss those, especially if you're a drainage nerd. Now, as you know, we don't discriminate. We'll install corrugated pipe, PVC pipe, dual wall pipe. It doesn't matter. We're gonna install it all. So basically, the way we determine it is the application, the client budget, the purpose of what we're trying to accomplish with that pipe. There's a lot of things that go into play when we're deciding what pipe we're going to use, what material we're going to use, and how we're going to install the system, what size pipe. A lot of things go into play. So watch our videos. You'll learn how we do things. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below if you have any questions. If you need drainage in the Tampa Bay area, give Stormwater Drainage Solutions a call at 813-614-3456. We can install downspout drains, channel drains, French drains, PVC systems, corrugated systems, dual wall systems. Give us a call. We got you covered.